All right, we're gonna try this again. I thought we were filming 5 seconds ago when we weren't. Because I am... Shut up. Because I am technologically brilliant.
Right.
So, it is January 13th. It is 7:46 in the morning.
No, wait, just for justification, the last time you said that, so is it really the 13th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like I said, December and January, the end of December, beginning of January have not been so kind to us. So a lot of health stuff going on in our family.
Almost like a trade.
Yeah.
Finances go good, and family matters, health issues go poop.
Right. So, you know, it's kind of like that New Year's resolution where we said we want to get our financial stuff together, and we're doing well. We've got plans in place. We've got some new ventures we're looking into.
Some hot irons coming off.
Yeah, hot irons he's got, promotions in the works. I mean, we got good stuff coming. And then it's almost like the universe says, yeah, but don't forget, things can happen that are not so great either. And, you know, his mom passed away on the 30th, and now our grandson is pretty ill.
He's not ill.
Oh, he's sick. He's in the hospital. He's dehydrated, that kind of thing. But he'll be okay. He's going to be fine. But it's still, he's miles and miles away. So it's difficult, and we haven't even really met him yet.
2007.
But we wanted to talk about being together for 26 years. And
why is that?
Why have we been together for 26 years?
No, why do we want to talk about it? Because that's what I thought this was about when you said that you were going to do this. And
my channel kind of, our channel has morphed into a Weight Watchers channel, and but he's on Weight Watchers now too. So also, shut up. So I want to talk about he just
That's annoying.
Really, you grammar Nazis me?
Oh, that's a pretty Jeep.
So
Carl's would lose it.
There's a pretty Jeep truck in front of us. So we want to talk about compromise a little bit, because like I said, it is 7:48 in the morning and I am on my way to the dump.
But
he loves the dump.
Chick at the dump, baby.
Really, is that so hard?
We'll be there and I'm pretty.
So I am going to the dump, and I hate going to the dump. It's the worst ever.
Your fault.
But it's my nephew who needs stuff taken to the dump. But that's kind of part of the 26 years, is that my blood nephew has become his nephew over the years, and family has just become family. It's hard to distinguish anymore. The bloodline
with us.
Yeah.
The boy was raised as one of our sons.
Yeah, he lived with us. He was raised with us. So we're going to Starbucks. So hold on. Okay, we're back. We ought to order from Starbucks because that was compromise number 2. I would get up and go to the dump with him.
But you get to see the onion.
And I do get to see my little great niece and my little great nephew.
The onion.
Yeah, I've said that before. We call her the onion because she used to wear hair on top of her head. So, and she has the attitude of an onion. It's funny. We're sitting in Starbucks, and you know what we can see from here? We could see the pizza place that we met at. And they're getting our early morning delivery, which is weird. Remember they used to leave it outside?
You know you weren't any hotter then than you are now. You're smoking then, you're smoking now.
Remember they used to leave the bread outside?
Yes.
And the birds would pick at it?
And the damn dough that was already in the tray.
Yeah, it would be outside. I think that's what they just delivered. Because they're not open, and they just delivered something.
Sure in hell aren't.
That's weird. Anyway.
16 owners later.
Yeah, it's changed hands, but it was good to us, I guess. There were bad times there and good times there.
You got a daughter that came from there.
It's true, yeah. That's a different story.
Making the pizza.
But so that's our day. That's what we're planning on doing, is going to the dump, and then what else are we doing?
Well, then we have to go meet the squirrel.
Yeah, we have a business venture that it's a startup, and it's interesting, and we're gonna go look into it and see I guess what we're thinking and what they're thinking, and that should be fun. And then I think we're gonna go to the grocery store at some point today.
Yes, but all of that has nothing to do with 26 years.
Right, I was just telling you what we're doing.
I didn't know what I was doing. I'm driving.
Okay. No, he's driving. So, talk about compromise, Short. Oh, that Jeep almost came back and hit you.
It's a hard clutch.
So what kind of things do you think you compromise on? I can think of two.
I can't think of anything.
I can think of two.
I don't even think you can spell compromise, and you're an intelligent woman with a master's degree in science and education, and you can't spell compromise.
I compromise. I do.
Our dog passed away. I said, okay, that's enough. No more dogs. Because our kids are grown. We could just go. So, yeah, we compromised, and we got 2 dogs.
Okay, well,
I say the dogs can't go on the furniture. We compromise, and they get on the furniture.
Okay, but you...
And here's the compromise. I pick and choose my battles with you. I love you. I adore you. So you get to make a lot of the rules, and I just go along with it because you're hot. But when it gets to a point where it's not okay, I'll let you know. And usually you don't get that.
That's not true. But the...
That would make you our friend.
Yes.
That would make you our friend. 11:30. Okay, I have no idea how much is on that. Okay?
Spending gift cards.
I don't know which one is which.
This is your triple. It's a triple.
Alright, so 113 is your new total.
Give her another one.
Okay, next.
Thank you very much.
See, we're in Starbucks line. So he gets a triple
shot of coffee.
Triple shot of coffee with, what is that? What else is in there? Mocha?
Caramel.
Yeah, mocha caramel. It's like a it's like a 17-point drink.
It's not.
It is.
No.
I got a cinnamon dolce latte, skinny, and it mine is like 7 points or something. So anyway, I think we don't get to the point where we argue too much anymore, but
Nothing I left to argue about.
no, I mean, we've worked it out at this point. We know each other's hot buttons. We could cause an argument. We could cause an argument with like one word.
0 to 60%.
But I think we avoid those things because it's not worth it. It's not worth it anymore. But I do think that there's something to be said for the fact that we went through all the arguments we went through.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you gotta make a decision. And the decision is, do you want to spend every day with the person? Do you love that person? Is that person your best friend? When something really good happens, who's the first person you want to tell? When something really sucky happens, who do you have to tell?
Right.
And you're always that person. So.
And I think one of the things you have to learn is the other person's. Just because we are basically one person now, we still have very we are, but we Lisa, Lorm. We still have very different personalities and how we.
Speech impediment in my neighborhood when we were children, it called me a Lorman.
And how we handle things. He has views of the world that I don't necessarily agree with because he's experienced it and I haven't. But I think he's even gotten better with understanding that some things I just have to learn myself and I have to just go through myself. He tries very hard to keep me from pain and things like that. But that was the other thing. We handle pain and grief very differently.
Everybody does, but that doesn't mean that you're right or wrong.
It doesn't mean that anyone's right or wrong. And I think a long time ago it may have where I may have said, well, you're doing this wrong. When we've been dealing with some pain and grief recently, and I want to be treated like a 5-year-old. I want my meals handed to me, and I want to put a blanket tucked in around me and start a fire and watch a cartoon and let me zone out and pretend like none of this is happening. Where he gets very touchy and feely and only with me, and he wants to have me next to him all the time because now he gets afraid of loss. And, when I'm in 5-year-old mode, because we're both dealing with the same grief, and he's in I want to touch you all the time mode, it doesn't go together. So sometimes that causes us to go apart. But I think that, especially with this one, we both realized what the other one needed. And we've been both, I think, trying very hard to give the other one what they need while still dealing with our own grief crap. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to explain it. If you could explain it any other way, you'd be like one of the few people
You know,
There's
it's
no
funny.
right or wrong way.
I hear people say a lot that the death of someone or the loss of someone broke their marriage up. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I don't know of any natural or unnatural phenomenon that's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
that
the
just
only person in the world that can do that.
right. And that's, I think that when we go through stuff like this, when we go through these hard times, we also have to remember that there are great times out there too. We laugh a lot at each other and at ourselves and at our kids and at other people, and
The kids make it easy because they're dorks.
but I think, you know, it's one way that our family kind of handles the weird stuff and the bad stuff and the hurt stuff is that it's all out of love, but we pick on each other relentlessly. We're rough, but we also
Nobody else likes it.
right. But you know, I had a term that I used years ago. You know, something happens to this family and we circle the wagons. You know, you're not getting through. You're not getting in. And I think that's part of it. I think just the other night, not last night, but the night before, he had said that we were going to go out to dinner, and he had said he had missed Danny, our middle one. She works a lot. She works constantly. She goes to school.
Never see her.
Where she lives in our house, but she's hardly ever home, and she's such a good girl. And she takes care of her own stuff. Her bills are all paid, and they're her bills, and she's got a Jeep that she's rebuilding, basically, with her own money. She's a great kid.
She's rebuilding it. I would say that she's modifying it. She rebuilt the old Jeep that she had.
Well, anything that goes wrong with it.
I want a new top. I want
True.
new tires.
She's rebuilding it in a vanity kind of way. But also, like, you know, she had something wrong where it had the death wobble going on, and she's like, no, we're fixing this. Where other kids would have been like, yeah, I could live with this for a couple of years. She went and had it fixed, and you know, she's got a warranty, which she bought on her own because she knew, I mean, Daddy told her to, but she knew how much her old Jeep had cost her to fix. So she wanted to, my arms get tired. So she wanted,
Had nothing to do with it.
shut up. So she wanted to do that. But anyway, so he said that he hadn't seen her in a while and he missed her. So we were going out to dinner, and I went in and I said, hey, we're going out to dinner. You want to go with us? She happened to be home. It was a rare night. So we went to the diner, and she just talked nonstop the whole time. I don't think we got a word in edgewise. She giggles at herself. She thinks she is the funniest thing in the world, and she just laughs.
It's kind of fun.
But sometimes she's funny just because she's laughing,
She's stupid.
and we're like, we don't know what you're talking about, but it's funny. But on the way home, and I don't even know if you caught this, but on the way home, she said, you two should be so proud of yourselves for not raising, what did she say, messed up kids? Or
Every kid that I talk to is so messed up. I just don't get it. Everybody my age is messed up. I don't understand their outlooks. I don't understand their view of the world. I don't understand their thought process in who owes them this and who owes them that. They don't have jobs, and they just think the college is going to be given to them. And half of them are like thinking about killing themselves, and half of them are depressed. And she's like, I'm none of these things. None of your children are none of these things, and I just don't get it. You two should be proud of yourselves for raising normal children. And I just had to look at her like, if you're normal, we have a problem.
So that's kind of a running theme in our family now that I think about it. We have said over the years that him and I, other than my parents, if we're looking at both sides of the family, other than my parents and his brother and sister, we have been married the longest on my side.
Brother and sister-in-law.
Well, your brother and sister-in-law, right? Okay. On my side, besides my parents, we've been married the longest. And for a lot of the people who live around here in our family, we are the ones who've been married the longest. And people, like, I have had 4 or 5 couples say to us recently, oh, you guys are like our goal couple. And I'm like, that's because you didn't know us 20 years ago. When we
hit you with a car.
I did. I hit him with a car twice. And both of them were accidents.
You're going to need a bigger car.
And, you know, we've had some
Both of them are what?
accidents. We've had some knockdown dragouts. I mean, some bad ones. He's never put his hands on me, though. Never. But we've been through some crap. And because of that, if that makes people look at us and go, you know, you're our couple, I look at them and think, man, you guys got a long way to go. But if you stick with it, the journey's worth it.
It depends. What do you want? Do you love her? Or do you want to be right?
Yeah. I just told my 5th graders that yesterday. I said, you guys can be right or you can be happy. Because they were arguing over dumb stuff.
I don't remember the last time I was right.
Yeah, he hasn't been right in years. And when he is, I tell him. I say, you're right, now shut up.
I'm driving.
Sorry. But, you know, it's the other thing is we look at our, like, okay, so our family as we, like, go through them and we say, well, this is the kid we thought was going to just excel and do wonderful, fabulous things. Not our kids. Because all of our kids are wonderful and fabulous and doing wonderful, fabulous things. But like my nephews and nieces, I look at one and I'm like, oh, she was going to do like amazing things. And she's okay. She's doing well, right? She's doing good stuff. And then my one nephew, you'd have looked at him and said, he's going to be in jail.
I met him in a child insane asylum.
Right. He was in the nut house.
In a glass cage.
And now that's who we're going to help. He is the father of 2. He's a hard worker. He owns 2 houses. He's married to a beautiful, wonderful person. He's a great dad. And, you know, sometimes things just don't turn out the way you thought they would be. And I'm telling you, if you would have asked my mom, his mom, anybody we know 20 years ago,
jail,
and said, will Norm and Lisa still be together in 2018? I think the consensus, even among our own kids, may have been 0. Yeah, the longest at our wedding was 5 years. He took 2. He took 2 years. He said we were going to be married for 2 years. That's wrong. But here we are. But so I just wanted to come on here today and talk about. Go ahead.
Get away with all this treasure, Mom.
He does that a lot. I think he lies. But he's cute. Look how cute he is. How cool he is.
Forget the light.
Alright, so I'm going to get off here because we've been talking for like 17 minutes. And we're going to keep doing this and we're going to keep coming back and doing it every time we have somewhere that we're going together. And hopefully adventures will be starting up soon.
If this weather stops.
If this weather could figure itself out. Anyway, have a great day, YouTube, and we will see you guys soon. Say bye, Norm.
Bye.